Hey everyone, I'm the Entertainment Geek and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, it's going to be very different and very chill and relaxed because today I'll be going over all the movies in my collection. So this will be a long video, but it'll be fun. I won't be talking about these movies too in depth because then it would be like 5 hours long, but I'm still going to give you, with some of these movies, like I'm still going to talk about, why I bought them and stuff, because I'm very picky on what I buy since I'm broke right now. So anyways, let's begin. All right, first off, I'm going to divide this into sections because I have DVDs, Blu-rays, Steelbooks, VHS. So I'm going to start with my VHS collection, which is very small at the moment, but yes. Starting with the first movie, A View to Kill. Never seen it. And yeah, I got this for Christmas, so once I get a VHS player, which I don't know when that'll be, but I'll definitely give this a watch. Next thing, which is probably one of my favorite movies that I have on VHS, is The First Godfather. And what makes it cool is the fact that there's 2 VHS tapes in here because it's that long of a movie. So yeah, this is probably my favorite VHS stuff in my VHS collection so far. But yeah, next thing, Batman Returns. Yeah, this is actually pretty dope to have. Out of the Tim Burton movies, this one's pretty good. I think this is probably my favorite, but yep. Next VHS movie is The Rock, and I'll explain to you why movies like this are in my collection in a little bit, because yeah, you'll see why. But this is cool to have on VHS. The next one, which you'll kind of see a theme here, but City of Angels. Now, I haven't seen this movie yet, and I believe I own this on DVD as well, so hopefully I'll watch it soon for a specific reason. But yeah, it's cool that I have this. The next thing in my collection is Bird on a Wire, which low-key never heard this movie. Don't know what it's about, but I'll watch it someday. The next movie is Top Gun, the first Top Gun. This is actually pretty dope to have on VHS. It's a pretty good movie. I prefer the sequel, but it's still cool that I own that. The next one is Jimmy Hollywood. Never heard of this either, but still, I'll watch this someday, who knows. And the next movie is Suspect. Also haven't seen this, so I don't know what it's about at all. Still cool that I have this though. And then the last VHS that I own is The Firm, which I also haven't seen this, so yeah. All the VHS that I own I got for Christmas 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, pretty cool. Now we go to the next section of movies, which this will reveal a very nerdy side to me. And that is the fact that I have a Nicolas Cage collection, because it is one of my goals to watch every Nicolas Cage movie ever, and I'm nowhere near finished with that goal, but I'm getting there slowly. But anyways, on to the first Nicolas Cage movie that I own, and that is Vampire's Kiss. Not only is this cover like really cool, but the fact that I just own this in general is awesome, because Vampire's Kiss is one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies, just based on how stupid it is. It's one of those bad movies, but it's really enjoyable to watch. The next Nicolas Cage movie is Dream Scenario. Despite it being called a comedy, I think it's more depressing than funny, but that's just me. This movie was pretty fun, but yeah, the ending really made me mad. So the next Nicolas Cage movie is Knowing. Now, I actually haven't seen this yet, so one of these days I'll pop this in and watch it. I don't know when though, but yeah, I don't know much about it. The next Nicolas Cage movie that I own is Bangkok Dangerous. Now, I haven't seen this yet either, and unfortunately I have 2 copies of this, but you'll see you'll see the second copy in a little bit. But yeah, don't know what it's about, but I'll watch it someday. The next Nicolas Cage movie is the movie Next. Funny, yeah. Haven't seen this either, but yeah, one of these days I'll watch it. Now, the next Nicolas Cage movie is one you've already seen, and that is City of Angels. I'll be using this copy to watch it whenever I do. I don't know when, but yeah. Don't know much about this movie, but I heard it's pretty decent. Now, the next Nicolas Cage movie is actually 2 movies, and that is Guarding Tess and It Could Happen to You. Now, Guarding Tess is actually really enjoyable and kind of charming, and It Could Happen to You is also pretty fun. It's a good romantic comedy. Yeah. If you haven't seen Guarding Tess, I'd highly recommend. Now, the next Nicolas Cage movie is Matchstick Men. This one threw me for a loop because I was not expecting the plot twist, and I really love this movie. I can't wait to rewatch it, which will hopefully be soon, but who knows. But yeah, very good movie, definitely recommend. The next Nicolas Cage movie is The Wicker Man. Yeah, this movie. It's not good per se, but the ending is very funny. So, and it's all because of Nicolas Cage. So, it's a good movie to throw on when you have friends over and you want to make fun of something. And so, yeah. The next Nicolas Cage movie is Amos and Andrew. Now, this movie is very odd because it is both a comedy, but also it talks about racism, and it does it in a very odd way. I enjoyed it, but I also found it very weird and odd at times. So I mean, it's a gem that isn't great per se, but it's enjoyable. So if you ever have a chance, and you can try to watch it. But yeah. And then the next Nicolas Cage movie is a 4 collection thing, which has The Humanity Bureau, Trespass, Bad Lieutenant, and Stolen. I haven't seen any of these yet, but one of these days I will. It's just kind of hard because these are all reviewed badly, so yeah. And the next Nicolas Cage movie is Pay the Ghost. Haven't seen this either, but I will one day. It looks pretty interesting, but I don't know much about it. So yeah. The next Nicolas Cage movie is Lord of War. I'm showing you it like this because the title isn't anywhere on this cover for some reason. I found this at a thrift store, but this movie is pretty good, I'd say. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10, and they're making a sequel, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't seen Lord of War, I'd recommend it. The next movie is The Family Man. haven't seen this yet. I know it sounds like I haven't seen a lot of Nicolas Cage movies, but I actually have. It's just there's a lot of Nicolas Cage movies, but yeah. This looks pretty good, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'll get to it someday. The next Nicolas Cage movie is Wind Talkers. Now this one was pretty good, I'd say. It's a pretty interesting war movie. The only thing is that it's your stereotypical war movie, so nothing too memorable or anything like that. But yeah, the next Nicolas Cage movie is Season of the Witch, and it is not very good, but I enjoyed making fun of it when I watched it. And yeah, the next Nicolas Cage movie is Gone in 60 Seconds. I haven't seen this yet, but it looks like it's like your typical action movie, so we'll see how fun that is. And then the next Nicolas Cage movie is Bangkok Dangerous. I know I'm getting deja vu too. Yeah, I think I was gifted this movie, but I also bought it before, so that's why I have 2 copies. I mean, if anyone wants it, I'll just give it away, who knows. But I don't think anyone really cares for it, so. But yeah, the next Nicolas Cage movie is a triple feature. It has 211, Mom and Dad, and Looking Glass. Now, I've only seen 211 out of the 3, and 211 is one of the worst Nicolas Cage movies I've ever seen, so I hope the other 2 are decent, but we'll see. I have five more Nicolas Cage movies, so the next one is Moonstruck. Now, it's the Criterion version, which would be great, except when it came in the mail, the bottom part completely broke off, and I'm too lazy to get a replacement, so for now it's gonna be like that, but one of these days I'll buy another copy. But Moonstruck, really good Nicolas Cage movie. Iconic lines, shares in it, what more could you want? But yeah, the next Nicolas Cage movie is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's very fun. I wouldn't say it's necessarily amazing, but I love it, so I gave it a 9 out of 10. And if you are a Nicolas Cage fan, then you'll definitely love this, because he plays himself, and it is riddled with nods to his previous films. And yeah, there's a couple things I didn't like about this, but very fun, and Pedro Pascal is amazing in this, so. The next Nicolas Cage movie is a more recent one, and that is Longlegs. Now, this movie is a little bit divisive. I personally love it, but I mainly love it because of Nicolas Cage's performance in it. All the criticisms are valid, extremely valid, but I just love him in this movie so much that I just enjoy this movie a lot. But it's very good at building tension and being a little frightening, but yeah, very good movie in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, you should. But yeah, the next movie is Face Off. Now, this movie is insane. My jaw was on the floor the first time I ever watched this, and I've watched it 3 times, I believe, and every time it's just crazy to me. If you haven't seen this, if I described what happened, you'd be a little confused, but it's very funny, and John Travolta's in this, but yeah. Now, the last Nicolas Cage movie is my favorite Nicolas Cage movie ever, and that is Raising Arizona. Now, if you haven't seen this, it's a Coen Brothers movie, It's very funny, very odd, but it's just so good and so amazing. I could go on and on about this movie, but if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's very good. Now, the next section are mainly kids films. They're all mostly DVDs until the very end, which are some Blu-rays, but yeah. First movie is Hook. Haven't seen this in years, but I remember loving this, so I'll rewatch it at some point. The next movie is Wall-E. One of these days I'll get a better copy, but this was gifted to me, so I'm gonna cherish it as long as I can. Haven't seen Wall-E in years, but I mean, everyone loves Wall-E, so what do you expect? The next movie is Robots. Now, I saw this for the first time like last August. I know that's crazy to admit, but it's a pretty good kids movie. I'm fairly certain this copy doesn't work very well, but I'm gonna keep it anyway, so very good movie. Next one is Meet the Robinsons. I mean, everyone loves this movie, everyone knows this movie. Really underrated Disney classic, but yeah. Next movie is Monster House. I mean, it's Monster House. Really good, really iconic childhood horror movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. But yeah. The next movie is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Now, funnily enough, I have this one and the third one, and that's it. So, very odd, but once again, all these were given to me, so I can't complain. This one's pretty good from what I remember. But yeah. Next one is Transformers Dark of the Moon. I don't really remember much about this movie, but it's Transformers. So. Next one is one that I completely lied to you about just 2 seconds ago. I do have the first movie. But yeah, Michael Bay Transformers movies they're like good, but like not good at the same time. So yeah. The next movie is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I mean, this is just childhood right here. Like, and I mean, this has become more of a meme recently in the past few months with Greg Heffley's dad. So, love the movie. Next one is Woodlawn. Now, I haven't seen this yet. I heard it's good, but I'll be the judge of that. It does have Sean Astin in it, so I mean, who doesn't love Samwise Gamgee? The next movie is School of Rock. Now, this is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. Like what exactly is wrong with this movie? Nothing exactly. And I mean, this is Jack Black's like favorite movie he's ever been in, so it has so much heart to it, and it's just really fun to watch. So also childhood as well. Next movie is Over the Hedge. Haven't seen this in like 10 years, but I remember it being iconic and good, so yeah. Next movie is Tangled. Now, Tangled is amazing, obviously. Haven't seen this in a while, but yeah. Next movie is Planet 51. Now, this is underrated. Like, I remember watching this all the time, and I don't think a lot of people know what this movie is. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this, you should. I mean, it's a great animated movie that no one really talks about. So, next movie, which we're now on some Blu-rays, but the next movie is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Star Wars, yeah. It's pretty good. There's a lot of criticisms, but you know, it's something. Next movie is the Lego Movie. Amazing. I wish we had more Lego movies, but you know, unfortunately, there's not many, but it's really good. One of these days, I want to get the Batman and the Lego Ninjago movie, but I don't know when I'll do that. Next movie is Mickey Mouse Once and Twice Upon a Christmas. Both of these I watch almost every Christmas. Very, very cute, and it just brings joy to my heart every time I watch it. Next movie is Frozen. Yeah, Frozen. It's actually a really good movie. The only issue is that when it first came out, it was overplayed. But looking past that, it's a great movie. Next movie is Trolls. Unironically, I love this movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember at someone's birthday party, I made everyone watch it for some reason. And yeah, really good. I haven't seen the sequels though, so I don't know about those. But the next movie is Big Hero 6. Haven't seen it in years, but such a good movie. Yeah. The last movie in this section is Cars. Now, I want to get a better version of this at some point, but Cars is iconic, so. And yeah, that concludes this section. All right, now the next section is just gonna be a bunch of DVDs that I own. So here goes nothing. Now, these next two movies are movies that none of y'all have ever seen because they were made by one of my old coworkers, and that is The Clown Mask and Psycho Miko. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen it, but I bought it off my coworker to support him. He's made a bunch of short films, and I'll link it in the description if you want to go check it out. He's distributed a lot of his films, which is quite impressive. So maybe one day you'll see him on the big screen. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. Next movie is Past Lives. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, it's depressing, but very good. The next movie is The Lost Boys, and it's signed by one of my old coworkers. So this has a lot of lore to it, but I won't get into that. But yeah, I keep this handy. So next movie is King Kong, the 1930s version, or it either came out in 1939 or 1941, I can't remember, but yeah, King Kong. I haven't seen this version, but I will at some point. I saw this at Walmart's like many months ago, and I was like, why not? It's $5. So the next movie is a double feature, and it's Project X and Beer Fest. I've heard a lot about Project X. Haven't seen it yet, or Beer Fest, but I got this for Christmas, this past Christmas, and I will watch these at some point. Next movie is the Mummy trilogy. Now, the only good one in this trilogy is the first one. I enjoyed the second one, but I mean, the CGI is it's horrendous. But the third one is very lackluster and could have been good, but it unfortunately wasn't. But yeah, if you haven't seen the first Mummy movie, you should. Definitely recommend. The next movie is The Wedding Singer. One of my all-time favorite romantic comedies ever. I mean, Drew Barrymore is one of my first ever celebrity crushes, so I love her in everything, but Adam Sandler is actually really good in this movie too. And if you haven't seen The Wedding Singer, highly recommend. And yeah, next movie is Kung Fu Panda. I mean, come on now, it's Kung Fu Panda. Like, I haven't seen this in a while, but it's such iconic. Like, I haven't seen the fourth one. Don't know if that's any good. Heard it wasn't, but the Kung Fu Panda trilogy is very underrated. Now the next movie is Finding Nemo. Quick story time. This is the first ever movie I remember seeing, and it's the first ever memory I have, which is crazy because I was about 3 or 4. I was sitting in a high chair and I was watching this while eating like SpaghettiOs or something. But yeah, so this is the first ever movie I remember watching, so it holds a very close place in my heart. And yeah, I know if I rewatch it, or when I rewatch it, I'm gonna be crying. But yeah, next movie is Only Yesterday. This is a Studio Ghibli movie and very, very underrated. My rating is gonna change once I watch this or rewatch this, because I have not stopped thinking about it since, and it's been like 3 or 4 years since I last watched this. Yeah, it's crazy to say, but it's a very good movie about like reminiscing about the past and everything. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. And yeah, the next movie is Knives Out. Now this one, I prefer the sequel, which is kind of a hot take, but this is still very good. The cast is crazy, and yeah, great murder mystery movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. The next movie is Kung Fu Hustle. Now this one, I have like 0 words to describe this movie, but it is a 10 out of 10 movie just on how absurd it is. I loved every second of it, and I can't wait to rewatch this. Hopefully I'll rewatch it soon, but if you haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, please do. It's beautiful in the worst way possible, but it's beautiful. Now the next movie, which I also have 2 copies of, but I'll explain. Singing in the Rain, my favorite movie musical ever. Now the reason I have 2 copies of this is, one, this is DVD and my other copy is 4K, but also this one doesn't work, so but it's still a cool looking cover and everything, so I decided to keep it. If you haven't seen Singing in the Rain, you're missing out on life, because this brings joy and jolly to everyone. It's one of those movies where no matter what mood you're in, it'll always bring a smile to your face, so go watch it. Now the last movie in this section is Apocalypse Now, and it's in this crazy looking cover. But yeah, this looks really cool. I haven't actually seen Apocalypse Now yet, but I will soon. I just need to find time where I have 3 hours to sit and watch this, because I know it's a long movie, but I've only heard good things about this movie. And this is just dope to look at. Like, I couldn't say no to buying this. But yeah, that concludes this section. Now, this next section is Blu-rays and 4K copies of movies. And these are all, yeah. First one is Baby Driver. Very good movie, very fun. If you haven't seen it, it's a great time. And everyone in it is really good, and the music is good. And yeah, so go watch this if you haven't already. Next one is Wallace and Gromit: The Complete Collection. This just has all the like short movies and stuff, and I haven't even opened this yet. You can still see the plastic wrap on it, but I grew up with Wallace and Gromit, so this is a must-have. If you haven't seen any of these, go watch it, please. They're just so iconic, and yeah. The next one is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but to me, this movie is 10 out of 10. And I know that's a hot take, but it is a comfort movie. I've seen it numerous times, and I can't get enough of it. As you can tell, I'm a huge Batman fan, so anything with Batman in it is dope and awesome. And despite the differences in this Batman, I think Ben Affleck is the best looking Batman, like in terms of how buff he is and how he looks in his suit. But yeah, love this movie. I know people hate it and their criticisms are valid, but I'm right and they're wrong, and yeah. The next movie, or movies, the Austin Powers trilogy. I don't know if you've seen Austin Powers, but it's really stupid, but I just love it. The comedy is great. The first one is the best one in the trilogy, but the other two are also really enjoyable. I love Mike Myers, and one of these days I'll be Austin Powers for Halloween. But yeah. The next one is Princess Mononoke and Nausicaa: The Valley of the Wind. It's like a two movie set. Now, Princess Mononoke, my favorite Studio Ghibli movie of all time so far. I haven't seen them all yet, but I've seen this 3 times in theaters, and I've seen this 4 times in total. And so yeah, this movie is just beautiful. And I think it's in my top 10, or just outside of my top 10. But yeah, if you haven't seen Princess Mononoke, you should. Next one, Nausicaa: The Valley of the Wind. I've only seen it once, but it's really solid. One of these days I'll rewatch it. But yeah. The next one is Castle in the Sky and Kiki's Delivery Service. Now, I got this not even a month ago, I think. I haven't seen either, but I'm hoping I'll see these soon. I heard they're good, so we'll see. The next one is Spirited Away. I think this is either my second or third favorite Studio Ghibli movie. I've seen it 3 times, and it's just beautiful. It's definitely one of their more popular ones, and if you haven't seen it, you should. It's a great first Studio Ghibli movie to like dip your toes in, because Studio Ghibli is like a great studio, and they mostly, there's like 1 or 2 that are not as good, but all their movies are just phenomenal. The next movie is Tokyo Godfathers. Now, this is a beautiful Christmas movie. And I remember I saw this in theaters, and it's just amazing. Like, if you haven't seen this, you should, and watch it during Christmas because it's a Christmas movie. It's a very beautiful story, and the animation's really good. And the director is also really good, which I have another one of his movies, or I actually have two of them, but yeah, I'll get to those later. The next one, Perfect Blue, made by the same person that made Tokyo Godfathers. Perfect Blue is a mind-bending movie. It'll definitely disturb you, but it is a beautiful movie, and I'm really happy that I own this on Blu-ray. I spent a crazy amount of money on this, but yeah. If you haven't seen this, definitely go watch it. The next movie is The Sound of Music. Now, as iconic as it is, I've only seen it once, and it was this past August. So yeah, kind of embarrassing to admit, but really loved this. The music is great, and I'm sad that I didn't see this sooner, but oh well. Next movie is The Lighthouse. Now, both of these fine-looking gentlemen do such an amazing job in this. It is a really absurd movie, but it's amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend. And yeah. Next movie is The Northman, made by the same person that did The Lighthouse. Great movie as well, very gory and violent, and it has such a great story. I need to rewatch this because I only watched it once, and it was a couple years ago, but very good movie. Next movie is Babylon. Now, I will defend this movie with my life. For some reason, this was panned by critics, and not a lot of people liked this, but it's slowly becoming more liked by the mass. And yeah, 10 out of 10 movie. It's in my top 100. The music is great. The story is beautiful. The ending is beautifully done. Like, all these criticisms on this movie are wrong, but yeah, if you haven't seen this, go watch it. Next movie is Birdman. Now, this is in my top 10, I believe. Or, well, actually, no, it's in my top 20 at least. Such a good movie. It's beautifully written. The direction is so phenomenal, and then the score behind this is great. Like, if you haven't seen this, you definitely should. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it won Best Picture. And yeah, very good movie. Definitely go watch it. The next movie is Singing in the Rain. Here's my second copy, and this right here is why I went and bought it. That, and because it actually works. But yeah, I've already talked about this movie. Go watch it. Next movie is Nosferatu. And yes, I bought this very recently since it just came out a few months ago. I haven't even taken the seal off yet, but I knew I had to get this because it's the extended cut, which I didn't know existed, and it's such a good movie. I'm pretty sure I gave this 5 stars when I first watched this, and I can't wait to rewatch it because it's just so good. And it's made by the same person that did The Lighthouse and in The Northman. So Robert Eggers, great director. Can't wait to see what other movies he has cooking up. But yeah. Now we get to the Blu-rays that aren't covered. Starting with Paprika. This is made by the same person who did Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers. This is basically Inception, but this came out before Inception. So Inception is basically Paprika, and great movie, really mind-bending and crazy. And yeah, Next movie is Ghost in the Shell. Now, I bought this and the second movie, but someone stole the disc out of the second movie, so now I just own this, unfortunately. But such a beautiful movie. The animation is phenomenal. And yeah, if you haven't seen this, it's a great anime movie. And yeah. Next movie is Big Trouble in Little China. This is a classic 80s movie. Kurt Russell is phenomenal. And yeah, John Carpenter directed this. And for those of you who don't know, John Carpenter is behind movies like The Thing and other great classic horror movies. So yeah, Big Trouble in Little China is definitely a very fun 80s movie. It's very cheesy, but definitely go watch it if you haven't already. Next movie is 3:10 to Yuma. Now, what I'm about to say is going to be insane to hear, but this is my second favorite Western of all time, and it's because of just how different the story is. It definitely wasn't what I expected, and I'm also a big Christian Bale fan, so seeing him in this was phenomenal, and he does a great job. And Russell Crowe also does a great job as well. And I just love this movie so much. But yeah. Next movie is Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Now, this movie is such a beautiful movie and it's super underrated. It not only does it star Ben Stiller, but he also directed it. And he is actually a very good director, believe it or not. Now, I relate heavily to this movie because it's about a socially awkward dude who fantasizes a lot in his head. Like, he goes through fake scenarios and stuff. And he goes on an adventure and he becomes more outgoing and like he feels more like himself and he's able to present himself as himself. I explained that terribly, and the reason it relates so much to me is because as I've discovered what I love doing and what I want to do as a career and stuff like that, I've become more outgoing than I usually am. Like, my middle school self would not be comfortable behind the camera and filming all this. But yeah, very good movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Next movie is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Now, this is just a classic comedy movie. If you haven't seen it, you probably won't find it funny, but it's British humor, and Monty Python is a really funny comedian group. But yeah, very fun watch. It's a classic. The next movie, La La Land. Now, this is my second favorite musical behind Singing in the Rain, and it is very, very, very good movie. The music is just, love it so much. And it's made by the same person that did Babylon, so it has a jazz soundtrack, and it's just amazing. The ending is really depressing, I'll just warn you, but very good watch. The next movie is Inglourious Bastards. Quentin Tarantino, he's a good director. He's not my favorite, but he certainly has his own style, which I definitely respect. This movie, though, is my favorite of his. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. The direction is great. The story is insane in the best ways possible, and the acting is just phenomenal. And Brad Pitt is hilarious in this movie. But if you haven't watched this, it's a great action war movie, and the ending will surprise you. Next movie, The Fighter. Now, I've only seen this once. I desperately need to rewatch it, but it is such a good movie. Christian Bale, once again, he is like perfect in this movie. And then there's Mark Wahlberg, you know, won't say much on him. But this is such a good movie, and the story is just so good. Next movie is Fight Club. I know I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but it's a good movie. I can't remember if I gave this a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but like, I already knew the twist going into it, but seeing all the little hints and clues on the twist was just really fun to watch. And it's a really good movie. I love Edward Norton. He's a great actor, so great movie. Next movie is Chicago. Now this is also one of my favorite movie musicals of all time. The songs are great. One of my dream roles is Billy Flynn. You never know. One day you'll see me on stage. No, I'm joking, but that's one of my dream roles. It's just a great movie and great musical altogether, and I definitely recommend this. Next movie is one of my favorites, and that's 10 Things I Hate About You. Now, this is this is such a good movie. The cast is great. The story is great. Heath Ledger is just perfect. And I love this movie so much. I could go on and on about how good this movie is, but if you haven't seen this, you're severely missing out. So go watch it. Next movie is Cuckoo. Now, this came out last year, and while it's not like the best movie of all time, I enjoyed this so much that I decided to go buy it. So I paid quite a bit of money for this in terms of movies, but I loved it so much. Hunter Schafer is just beautiful in this movie, both acting and appearance-wise. And it's a really good horror movie. Definitely recommend. But yeah. Next movie is the Barbie movie. Yippee! Now the lore between me and this movie is great. For those of you who don't know, which is a lot of you, when this movie first came out, I rented out an entire theater and invited like 30 people to go watch it with me. One of the best theater experiences of my life. So this is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I know, objectively speaking, it's not 10 out of 10, but it's such a good movie. It's such a great movie to me. And I also wore a pink suit when I went to go watch this. But yeah, you do not want to know how much I spent to go watch this movie. It was around $800 for the movie rent, for the theater rental and the suit. So yeah, I was a little insane when this came out, but was it worth it? Absolutely. It's such a fun movie. Now the next movie, or the last movie in this section, is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Now, when I saw this, I know I immediately had to buy it. And this was also very expensive because it's 4K and it's also really hard to find. Because I spent like many months looking for this. But yeah, this is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It's such a depressing, sad movie, and it makes me cry all the time, but it's also so beautiful. And yeah, if you haven't seen this already, highly recommend it. In fact, over the summer, I'm gonna force a couple people to go to watch this with me, so yeah. And I'll be using this copy, so yippee. And that concludes this section. Now we have 3 more sections left. The next one is like collection of movies that I have. I won't be going over all of them that are in these collections, but yeah. So first one is a 10 film horror set, which has The Shining, Poltergeist, the old one, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original one, The Lost Boys, so I technically have 2 copies, The Exorcist Extended Director's Cut, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the 2003 one, Friday the 13th, but the 2009 one, The Conjuring, Annabelle, and It, the 2017 one. Now, for those of you who don't know, I used to not be that big into horror, but I'm slowly getting more into the genre, and this is one of my ways of doing so. I've been slowly watching all of these that are in this collection, and so I'm getting better. I've seen some of the classics, and there's also a couple of obscure ones that I've seen as well. But yeah, got this at Walmart's for like $40, but this was like a year and a half ago, so maybe 2 years ago, I think. But yeah. The next collection is the Jurassic Park trilogy. Obviously, you know why I got this. It's the trilogy of Jurassic Park, and that's one of the most iconic trilogies of all time. So, one of these, hopefully soon, I'll rewatch this trilogy, because I haven't seen any of these movies in like years, but the first one is iconic, and I remember enjoying the second and third, but we'll see if my opinions change. But yeah. The next collection is Batman 80th Anniversary, and it's an 18 film collection, and it has almost all of the animated movies that came out at the time. So let me list them all. Batman Gotham Knight. Well, actually, no, never mind. I'm not gonna list them all, but you can pause and read it if it's readable. I don't know. But yeah, this I knew I had to get this because, I mean, Batman fan over here. I'll show you more of my Batman collection at the end of the video, but yeah, must have. The only issue is some of these discs. The only issue is one of the things that like you put the disc in is broken in this, and it came like that, so I might have to buy a new one at some point. But yeah. The next thing is the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, I have a lot of hot takes about this trilogy. Number one, The Dark Knight is very overrated in my opinion. And it's not a Batman movie, it's more of a Joker movie, but that is just my opinion. I can go over more of what I think about this trilogy later. If you want to see that, just let me know. But yeah, the next thing, it's not a collection, but it's thick, and that is It's a Wonderful Life. Now, this is my 5th favorite movie of all time, and I knew I had to buy it when I saw it. But yeah, it has like a recipe book in this, I think, which is just crazy, and it's Blu-ray, so I knew I had to get it. I watch this every year, and I cry every year, so yeah, great movie. If you haven't seen it already, you have no life. So now the next thing, as of recording, I just bought the same day I recorded this, so I bought this like not even 3 hours ago, but that is a Barbie 10 film collection. You're probably asking why, and it's because it's Barbie. Like, come on now. This thing has been staring me in the face for years, and today I was like, I'm gonna drop money on this, and I'm gonna finally get it. So yeah, this has the classic 10 movies. I don't know if you can see this or not. Hopefully you can, but yeah. And I haven't seen any of these, so I've been told by countless people that I need to watch these movies, and so that is my goal at some point, is to watch all 10 of these movies. But yeah. Now, the last thing is the Planet of the Apes trilogy. Now, this is one of the most underrated trilogies of all time, and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is one of the most underrated movies of all time, and it has one of the best written villains in cinema history, in my opinion. If you haven't seen any of these movies, you are severely missing out in life. The first movie is a little slow, but Dawn and War are just, they're so phenomenal, and I absolutely love this trilogy. And I rewatched it recently because I made my family watch this, and they loved it. So if you don't believe me, believe them. But yeah, that concludes the collection section of this. Now we go on to my Criterion collection. And for those of you who don't know, the Criterion collection is a film distributor that takes obscure and niche films, and they like get the best version of it, like 4K, restored, all that, and they release it for a crazy amount of money. So all of these were very expensive, but yeah, here goes nothing. First Criterion movie I have is Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Now, for those of you who have seen La La Land, La La Land was based off of this movie. This is a French musical, so it's in French, but it's beautiful. The colors, the music, all of the dialogue is sung, so it's one of those musicals, but it's a very beautiful movie, and the story is basically the same as La La Land, so expect some heartbreak. But yeah, the next Criterion movie is Punch Drunk Love. Now this is also in my top 10, and this was my first ever Criterion movie that I bought, so I'm pretty proud of this. But for those of you who haven't seen this, you need to watch it because it's beautiful. It made me cry. Adam Sandler is phenomenal in this, and yeah, this just brings joy to my heart. The next movie, Anatomy of a Fall. Now this came out 2 years ago, I believe, and it is it's beautiful. It's in French. Most of it's in English, but like there's some French parts in this. It's a French movie. It's great. It's my favorite movie of 2023, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's just so good. I could go on and on about it. The next movie is Frances Ha. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. But this is a Noah Baumbach movie. Hopefully I said that right. But it has Greta Gerwig as the main character, and this is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. It's a very beautiful movie about living in your 20s. So soon this will be relatable, even though most of it is already. But such a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Next movie is In the Mood for Love. The director for this movie, which out of respect, I am not going to try to pronounce it because I will butcher it, but the director of this movie is such a phenomenal director, and this movie is great. The music is amazing, the story is heartbreaking, and love this movie so much. The next movie is Come and See. Now, based on what this cover looks like, it is a very traumatic and disturbing movie. For those of you who don't know, this is about, he is a Soviet soldier in World War II, and he witnesses all the horrific things, and the movie does not shy away from showing everything. So very disturbing. If you're into that, go watch it. It's a great movie, and it'll scar you for life. Next movie is Eraserhead. Rest in peace, David Lynch. This is my first ever David Lynch movie, and I've only seen 3 of his so far, but this one was insane. A lot of crazy things happen in it, and it's so hard to describe, but the direction is great. The story is all over the place in the best way possible. And if you haven't seen this, go watch it. It's phenomenal. Next movie is The Elephant Man. Also a David Lynch movie. Also my favorite David Lynch movie. And this will make you cry. I bawled my eyes out to this movie. It is such a powerful movie, and Anthony Hopkins does a phenomenal job in this. It'll break your heart into millions of pieces. And yeah, if you haven't seen this, go watch it. It's so good. The next movie, Uncut Gems. Another Adam Sandler movie where Adam Sandler plays a very dramatic role, and he does a phenomenal job. This, like, the ending made my jaw drop. Like, it's very tense, and by the end of it, you'll realize that you've been on the edge of your seat the entire time, and you didn't even notice. But yeah, this is such a great movie. Definitely recommend if you want something like high intensity and all that, because it is just a wild ride. Next thing is Do the Right Thing. This is probably one of my favorite criterions that I have, and not only because of the cover and everything, but the movie itself is so good. Spike Lee is a phenomenal director. I love his movies, the ones that I've seen, and this is probably my favorite Spike Lee movie. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. Great movie about racism, and it takes you on a ride, and the ride is smooth for most of the way, but the ending is just heartbreaking. So definitely watch this if you haven't already. And yeah. All right. The next movie is Dazed and Confused. Now, this is my 4th favorite movie of all time. Scratch that. It's my 3rd favorite movie of all time. I've watched this every year around 420 for the past few years, because this entire movie is just teenagers smoking, drinking, having fun. There's not like a set plot to it, but it does such a good job doing that. And fun fact, the school that the movie was filmed in is the school my mom went to. I've been to a lot of the filming locations that this movie was filmed, and this is like, I'm not from Austin, but my mom is, and I've visited Austin many times throughout my life, and so this is just, it also feels like home to me. So this movie's great. I watched it in theaters last month, and it was such a good experience. It's a fun movie, and I now have a Dazed and Confused shirt, which I'm very proud about. So very good movie. Definitely go watch it. Next thing is the Before trilogy. Haven't watched this yet. I will soon, but I got this for Christmas, and shout out to my ex. but yeah, I've always wanted this, and it was on sale, and that's why I got it for Christmas. But been meaning to watch this for the longest time. I heard great things about it, so I can't wait. Next criterion is Fantastic Mr. Fox. Great Wes Anderson movie. It's very beautiful. The cinematography is great. And yeah, I can't wait to rewatch this because I've been meaning to. And I'm meaning to show my family this as well. So hopefully I will soon. But great movie. Yeah. The last criterion that I have, The Princess Bride. Also got this for Christmas. Shout out to my ex. This is phenomenal. Like, I've seen this countless times. It wasn't until the last time I watched this that I gave it 5 stars. I know. I'm sorry, but 10 out of 10 movie. I read the book as well. The book does a better job, in my opinion, of explaining everything, but this is still so iconic. And I mean, if you haven't watched this, you haven't lived. So, and this is the good copy of it, because the Criterion released 2 versions, but this one looks more like a book. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. And that concludes this section. Now, last but not least, my Steelbook collection. These are all movies that I have on Steelbook. All of them are phenomenal to look at, and that's why I bought them. Now, the first few are all related to each other, and you'll see why. But yeah, the first Steelbook in my collection is Dracula. I got this and the next few Steelbooks all together for like $120, and very, very worth it, because this, just look at this. It's so beautiful. Next movie, The Wolfman. Like, the cover art is just so good. I haven't seen The Wolfman yet, but I will soon. Probably in October. Next one is The Invisible Man. Cover art, once again, beautiful. I've seen this before. I saw it 2 years ago during Halloween, and it's a great movie. Yeah. Next one is Frankenstein. This one I bought. I didn't buy with the rest of these Steelbooks, but this was actually my first Steelbook, I believe. And Frankenstein, I've seen this twice. It's a great movie. I really want to read the books, or the book. It's on my list, because I know the book is a lot better than this story. But yeah, the next one is The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Haven't seen this yet, but I definitely will soon. This is the last of my like 1930s horror collection thing, but yeah. So I got all of these for like $100, $120. Definitely worth it. But yeah, next Steelbook is Scarface. I don't know if the discs are clean or not, but I got this for a good price, and you can probably see it. But yeah, this Scarface is a great movie. I gave it a 9 out of 10, I believe. Definitely recommend. I mean, it's a classic, so yeah. Next one is American Werewolf in London. Now, I watched this recently, so I can justify this purchase, and I would say it's completely justified because it is a classic horror movie. And like, this cover art's just wow, it's so beautiful. But it's a classic horror, like I said. And the makeup effects is some of the best I've seen in like ever, cinematic history ever. It made me realize how much I miss practical effects. Like, the transformation scene is gnarly in this. Like, it's horrifying to watch, but like, it's so well done. And I really wish more movies went back to practical effects. I understand why they don't, it's because it's more expensive, but like, for something like this, it makes it so much like the movie so much better. But yeah, Next steelbook is Army of Darkness. I love the Evil Dead movies. Very corny and cheesy, but in the best way possible. And this was such a fun watch. I'm pretty sure I gave this a 9 out of 10, and I think it's my favorite of the series, but this artwork is just so beautiful, so I just had to get it. The next one is Skinamarink. Now, this is a very divisive film, namely because it's very drawn out, but it's deliberate. And I loved this movie because of the atmosphere that it takes you in. It basically feeds on your childhood fears of the darkness. And the reason why this movie is divisive is because there's a lot of like long shots of almost nothing, and it's very, very slow. But I think people who criticize it miss the entire point of the movie, because the point is that it takes you back to your childhood self, and it makes you like fear the darkness again, because your mind starts to see weird shapes when you stare at the darkness for a long time. And the premise is really interesting. So I definitely recommend this, but I mean, if you don't like it, then you don't like it, I guess. But yeah. Now, the next steelbook, one of my favorites in my collection, and that is The Boy and the Heron, another Studio Ghibli movie. In terms of ranking Studio Ghibli movies, it's, I think, my top 5. And the music is the main thing I love about this. I listened to the sound, well, when it first came out, I listened to the soundtrack on repeat, and I still sometimes listen to the soundtrack whenever I'm writing or anything, because it's just so beautiful. And this steelbook is also just like so beautiful to look at. And once again, shout out to my ex. She got this for me, so but yeah, this is one of my favorites in my collection, and I'm so glad I own this. And now, the moment we all waited for, the last film in my collection. And I know this is a long video, but yeah, for those of you who know me, comes to no surprise, and this is one of my more recent buys, and I'll definitely finish buying the rest of these movies whenever I come across them, but I just had to get this in steelbook version, and that is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, a steelbook. It's in 4K. Like, I couldn't say no. This was like $30, and I had to. Even though I'm broke, I had to buy it. And so, yes, this is my favorite steelbook that I own. I cannot wait to buy the other 2 movies in steelbook version. Yeah, I bought this like 3 weeks ago, probably, I think. 2 weeks ago, I think, actually. Very recent, but yeah, I just had to. One of these days I'll buy, I mean, in the future, I'm gonna have like 12 different copies of Lord of the Rings, because there's so many collection variations that I want. But yeah, this concludes my collection video. I hope you enjoy. I know it's long, and you probably don't like to hear me ramble, and you probably clicked off of it by now, but yeah, this is all my collection. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death with my monotone voice, but if I did, I apologize. I try to make it more enjoyable to listen to, but my voice isn't very appealing, so. But yeah, if you want more content like this, let me know. I don't know what I would do, but yeah. Also, here's my Batman collection. Here's the first shelf, and then here's the second shelf, and then I can't even see. Let me try this. Okay, for those of you who want to see my Batman collection, here's shelf number 1, a bunch of Funko Pops and all that jazz. And then these are where my Hot Wheels are and like random other junk. And then this is my Lego collection. And then up here is a bunch of miscellaneous Batman junk. And then I have the bat signal up there. But yeah, adding another 10 minutes to this video, because why not? But yeah, hope you enjoy this. I definitely am gonna have more, and probably in a year from now, if I'm still doing YouTube, I will probably make an update video of all this. But yeah, hope you enjoy this. Comment down below some of your favorite movies that you own or want to own. And yeah, thank you for watching. Toodles!